Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel, Mr. Loons, and today I am doing Game Week 17 Barclays Premier League predictions. Yes, we are finally back with some more predictions for the Premier League after the World Cup break. I'm going to be starting off on Boxing Day, 26th of December. It's going to be Brentford at home against Tottenham Hotspur. I'm going to say 2-1 to Spurs. They're the favourites. They've got some good players like Kane, other than his last penalty he took for England. But we won't talk about that. This is the Premier League now. And Brentford did terrible in their friendlies. They didn't even get a 1 win in their friendlies leading up to this game. I don't think many international players went away either. And they ended off the last game in the Premier League with a 2-1 win against Man City. But it's been a big break. Spurs are the favourites. Brentford didn't perform well in the friendlies. I personally think they're going to go down. So Spurs are going to win it. Moving on to the next game, it's going to be Southampton at home against Brighton. And I am going to say 1-1 for this game. Obviously, Brighton and McAllister winning the World Cup is absolutely fantastic. But I don't think they're going to win it. They lost their last game in the Premier League, whether it even matters, 2-1 to Aston Villa. And I think it's been refreshed. The season's been refreshed after this World Cup break. And really, Brighton usually draw loads of games back in the past, and I think it will reoccur here. Southampton are going to be fighting because they're, I think, near the relegation zone. I just think Brighton won't, play as well as they have been after the break. Everything resets and all. But they'll probably start getting back into form, but I think they're going to be that drawing team. Moving on to the next game is at the King Power Stadium. Leicester City at home against my favourite team, Newcastle United. I'm predicting this 1-1. I think this could be a really interesting game. The last 5 games for these clubs in the Premier League were very good. Newcastle winning their 5 in the last 5, only losing 1. They're in 3rd. Leicester, people thought they were going to get relegated, but in the last 5 games they've won 4 and lost just 1. So they're both in really good form, and the fact that Leicester are at King Power, Newcastle aren't at their amazing St James's Park, I think this could be a very close one, and everything's reset and everything. I think it's going to be 1-1. Moving on to the next game, it's going to be Crystal Palace home against Fulham FC. And I'm going to predict this 1-0 to Palace. They've got Patrick Vieira. They've got Wilfred Zaha. Eze, Elise. 2 really good centre-backs in Anderson and Gay. Absolutely fantastic. But Fulham, they've got Alexander Mitrovic. They've got Willian. They've got Dan James, I guess. But I just think Crystal Palace have more zinging players, more standout players than Fulham do. And they've got more experience. And the fact that they're home with an amazing manager. I just think Palace are the favourites. Everton versus Wolves. And is at Goodison Park. And I think that game will turn out in a 2-2 draw. Yes, Wolves hardly score. They're at the bottom of the table. But Everton did lose 3-0 against Bournemouth. And then in the Carabao Cup also get thrashed by Bournemouth as well. And yes, that was quite a while ago. So everything's been reset. You'd probably think Everton will win it. But Wolves are last. They're in desperate conditions. Everything's reset. And I think Everton will play as the better side, but Wolves will get lucky and they'll fight on, even with only a bit of their fans there. But I think that looks like a draw. I think it could go either way. Probably more on the Everton side, but I'm just going to say a draw for now. Moving on to the next game, Aston Villa are at home against Liverpool. I'm going to say this one a tight 2-1 win to Liverpool. Now, Aston Villa, obviously Martinez is absolutely fantastic. Their new manager is absolutely fantastic as well. Those 2 things are really good. Obviously, Martinez winning the World Cup and all. Liverpool did actually win, I think, was it 5 or 4-1 against Milan in a friendly? And Aston Villa, in their last game in the Premier League, did win 2-1 against Brighton. And, well, that probably has no significance for this because it was quite a while ago. Liverpool also won 3-1 against Southampton. But I think after this reset, Liverpool are going to be back. And I think they're going to be able to get a win against Aston Villa. It'll be a very close game. But I think Liverpool, they are the top 6 clubs. And I think they probably would be the favourites at one point in time. And I think they're a return. Moving on to the next game. It's going to be Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium at their home ground against West Ham. And I'm going to say 2-1. I think Arsenal are going to continue it. In that home, West Ham, they lost to Leicester last 2-0 in the Premier League. Only Paqueta really went on to international duty. I don't know if anyone else did. But I'm just going to go for the favourites because they probably are the favourites. I think West Ham will start kicking off when they find an easier game after Arsenal. But let's move on to the 27th of December, day after Boxing Day. Chelsea at home against AFC Bournemouth. 4-0 to Chelsea. Bournemouth, I think they won 3-0 against Everton, and they won against them in the Carabao Cup. But Bournemouth keeping the game fresh by top 6 teams, as they did against Liverpool 9-0. And I think they'll do the same against Chelsea. Moving on to the next game, Manchester United against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest never get a win away. They're always good at their home ground, as proven last time in the Premier League, winning 1-0. Only a couple of their players went on to Welsh international duty, but they did absolute terrible. So they're away. They only usually get wins when they're home. And against Manchester United, 2-0 to Manchester United. Simple for Man United. Another whole new day, 28th of December. Leeds United are at home at Ellen Road, that amazing stadium, against Manchester City. And Man City, Erling Haaland did not go to the World Cup, so he's all rested up and nice. And they're ready to continue against Leeds, which seemed like a winnable game for them, and I think it will be. 3-2 to Manchester City. Leeds, they seem to always do well, especially at their home ground against these bigger clubs. Like against Arsenal, they deserved it. Against Spurs, they deserved it. And they got a couple of wins. Remember that amazing atmosphere against Bournemouth earlier on this season. I think it'll be amazing atmosphere. I think it could go possibly either way, but Leeds seem to always be on that unlucky side. But that will be the end of my video. Hopefully you can like and subscribe, and always remember to turn on notifications to never miss one of my fantastic YouTube videos. I will see you next time. Toodaloo now.